with new reporting, the DNC's Democratic National Committee's assessment of what went wrong in the 2024 election. They're preparing a post-mortem, and sources appear to be frustrated that that post-mortem is not going to include or is going to avoid questions of whether President Biden should have run for re-election in the first place, and questions about whether Vice President Harris was the right choice, but also whether her messaging was right.
Doing a post-mortem without the Biden question is like asking Mary Todd Lincoln to review the show. I mean, give me a break. This is that's the prime question here. Like, you can't do one without the big elephant in the room.
There's a consistent misunderstanding of what the Democratic National Committee's role is. And it certainly is kind of the representation of what the National Democratic Party is. But the Democratic Party is not any one entity. And I think that's, we've talked about this before. We do not exist in a strong party system in the United States. The parties do not dictate the outcomes beyond Republicans are a little bit better organized and more cohesive. But Democrats, Democrats just don't belong to an organized party. What we have is several committees that organize different things. The DNC's primary role is fundraising for whoever becomes the eventual nominee and organizing the primary process for a presidential campaign. But they are not really the ones who are out there deciding what the messaging is going to be, because every candidate who comes to the table makes that decision for themselves. How are they going to talk about it? They certainly provide important guidance. They certainly do the early research on opposition research on Republican candidates. It's an important committee that does significant work, but ultimately it's hard for them to do a postmortem where they analyze whether Joe Biden should have run or not, because the Democratic Party, the DNC, they cannot tell any president not to run. That's just outside of their wheelhouse. They also can't tell other people not to run against him.
Obama was able to beat sort of the establishment party. And that's what you're saying. And then he became the establishment. But the issues that are highlighted in this postmortem are baloney. I mean, and I don't think that they're going forward in the right direction. I mean, okay, let's move on. Let's figure out what are the issues that Americans care about, and what are Democrats speaking to, and what are they not speaking to.
But that gets to what Kamala was talking about. I think that is well within the DNC's purview. And if you're a progressive who does not like the claims that the party interferes and puts their thumb on the scale against a far left candidate, then you also shouldn't want a party that tells a president that they have to get out. Like, at the end of the day, that's the point of primaries, is to let voters decide.